So we're still hot off the buzz of the Super Mario movie, which was widely known as a pretty darn good movie, a success, well, at least for most people. The critics still like to say differently, still having it at like a 58 there on a critic score, which, in my opinion, I completely kind of disagree with. Yes, I had some gripes with the movie, but I overall thought it was a pretty darn good movie. And I'm definitely in the 96% of the audience score that is rating it pretty decently here. But with the hype of the movie here still running through my blood, it really makes me think, what could be next for Nintendo? And if we can keep this ball rolling here of Nintendo movies coming up. And so obviously the first kind of thing that comes to my mind is just a direct sequel to Super Mario Bros. Movie, which I think is what they're kind of setting up for with the little teaser at the end of the trailers and things like that. Looks like, of course, that they're going to set up here probably for a direct Super Mario Movie 2 or something like that going forward, which honestly, another movie directly in the universe as well with just Mario and Luigi sounds perfect to me. I think that sounds like a great idea, and I would also go and watch that here right off the bat. So I would more than welcome another Super Mario Movie 2 here coming up, but I really hope that they don't quit there, to be honest. I think that they have quite a lot of potential here to go forward, and another painfully obvious one, in my opinion, would be a Luigi's Mansion movie. I think that they kind of teased setting that up in the original Mario movie, and honestly, I wanted more from that, but after I sat and thought about it, it would be nice if we did just get a Luigi's Mansion only movie. I think that would be fantastic, and maybe that's why they pulled their shots from doing it in the Super Mario movie. If they released a Luigi's Mansion movie to follow up the next Mario movie or something like that, I would be more than thrilled to see something like that. So I really hope that if they're going to keep rolling here with movies here going forward, that they're going to plan on doing something here with Luigi's Mansion. I think it'd be a smash hit, a home run, and honestly, it just would be right in the wheelhouse. I don't think it's anywhere out of line to predict a Luigi's Mansion movie to come up here going forward. And why stop, with just the Mario Brothers? I think that Nintendo has a whole catalog of characters that they can go through and have movies. In fact, another obvious one right off the bat would be, Kirby. Why not? Kirby has such a diverse storyline. Kirby in the games is kind of this fluffy character or something like that, but they have such a different spin, in the Kirby manga that released not that long ago or something like that, a couple years back, where Kirby in the books and stuff like that, he's a little bit more of a sassy character. In fact, I think that would roll over really well in the movies as well. Kirby would kind of probably relate it a couple times to the Marvel universe, because if we're building something up epic like that, Kirby would probably almost remind me of a little bit of a Spider-Man character with a little bit of comic relief if they went with his more attitude-oriented side. I don't know how they would play Kirby in movies, but with such a long catalog of content for Kirby, I feel like they could go anywhere with Kirby as well. And a couple of the obvious ones, well, before we get to some of the obvious ones, I mean, it doesn't just end with Kirby. I mean, we've got Star Fox that would make a really awesome movie. Metroid, of course. Metroid would be an amazing movie, in my opinion. And even some other movies, even some other characters that we have just vast catalogs on that would make really good movies. But obviously, one of the more notable one would, of course, be The Legend of Zelda. And where they have so much content that they could pull from here. In fact, the storyline, let's just say that they have going here now, where it'd be the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom storyline, where they could probably pull that in. Honestly, if they did make a Legend of Zelda movie, I don't know if I could foresee them picking a specific game or something to go from, where they would probably just more so want to borrow assets from other games and maybe tell their own story of a Legend of Zelda that, of course, starts and begins in the same place, but kind of borrows from all around, just like the Mario movie did. I mean, it pulled power-ups and everything from all the different games and characters and stuff like that. It really didn't hold on to an exclusive one. But The Legend of Zelda, I think that they have a huge opportunity to go in any direction with this movie. In fact, they could probably spin off a huge catalog of just Legend of Zelda movies as well. But if they are going to maybe build something where they are starting to make movies with multiple characters from multiple series, things like that, I think The Legend of Zelda would probably be a good introduction to just a multiverse of Legend of Zelda characters, because you have Toon Link and all of these other Legend of Zelda characters that eventually, if we're going to relate it to something again, could be like Spider-Man into the multiverse, where eventually they all of a sudden all come together for the greater good or something, to defeat the enemies. I think that they could definitely build something really epic with The Legend of Zelda like that. And being that we could build something, with maybe Legend of Zelda characters coming together, it obviously brings the point to the whole point of this video, in fact, too, where it would be absolutely amazing if Nintendo would build something up to like the Super Smash Brothers series, where everybody absolutely comes together. In fact, they doesn't only have to be Nintendo. In fact, we already know that the Sonic movie exists. Sonic is already making his own movies that have set in stone pretty well as well. Where then I just feel like if we could then somehow funnel together after a build-up into the Super Mario Bros. Movie, that would be amazing. I would be there instantly to watch that in theaters the day it drops. Having this would be pretty darn awesome, but it would take a lot of work. I would hate to see if for some reason they did plan on doing this, that they just try to rush it and then get through to like a Super Mario movie in like 6 years. It would honestly be something that would need a massive amount of buildup. I mean, we saw how long it took for the Marvel Universe to introduce the Avengers for the first time. And so I feel like if they was going to plan on building together for a Super Mario Bros. Movie, then it would need to bake. It would need to take a lot of time. And even though that kind of sucks to think, because I was just thinking, even if it took 10 years from this point before we even saw like a trailer for the Super Mario Bros. Movie, I'd be old. I would be really old. But you know what? I still think I'd want it at that point. I think the epic buildup would be amazing. And that's kind of the thing about Nintendo, it's so welcoming for all ages that even if I do hit my 40s before we see this movie, I think I would still be in the theater right away to watch it. Now, do I believe that they are going to build up to something like this? Unfortunately, I don't think so. I mean, we are talking about Nintendo here, and obviously their main focus isn't going to probably be on movies and an epic movie storyline like this. I think that they are going to probably just maybe make another Mario movie, maybe a Legend of Zelda movie, who knows, maybe branch down into Donkey Kong. But are they all going to come together? I don't quite foresee that happening. Of course, that would be something that I would massively want, but, I don't know. I think that Nintendo is going to keep focusing on making games and maybe not build an amazing storyline here with movies. I mean, it's tough. I mean, if you diversify yourself so much, I think that they have the massive potential to make something big here, but are they going to want to move forward with it? I don't know. I just don't see it. Probably not, but I would be more than happy to see if something like that ever did happen. But honestly, let me know as well. What movie would you want to see next? Or what specific character as well would you like to see? I just think there's so much untapped potential here to go forward with more Nintendo movies, especially if they make home run bangers like the Super Mario movie that we saw here. Either way, though, that's kind of the end of my talking and rambling points here. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Do consider watching another video if you like what I'm talking about, but until next time, we'll see you in another video. See ya!